I drifted into a deep sleep, expecting the comfort of my bed. But when I opened my eyes, I was met with a strange, pale light filtering through an unfamiliar ceiling. My heart pounded as I realized I was not in my room, or even my world. The room around me was cold and sterile, with walls painted a dull gray. A low, constant hum vibrated through the space, unsettling me further. I scrambled out of bed, disoriented, and rushed to the window. The sight that greeted me was both familiar and alien. The city outside was shrouded in a thick fog, skyscrapers looming ominously over the streets. Twisting vines of strange ivy clung to the buildings, pulsing as if they were alive. The streets below were empty, except for the cats. Enormous, graceful felines roamed the city, their eyes glowing with an eerie intelligence. They moved with a silent authority, and I quickly realized that these were not ordinary cats. Shaken, I ventured out of the room, the building around me eerily quiet. As I descended the stairs, the low hum grew louder, reverberating through the walls. I stepped out into the street, where I saw people kneeling, their heads bowed in submission. My breath caught as a massive, jet-black cat approached one of the kneeling figures. Without a word, the person began to pet the cat, their movements mechanical and devoid of emotion. I watched, horrified, as I realized the cats were communicating telepathically, controlling their human pets with a mere thought. As I stood frozen, one of the cats, a majestic, silver-furred creature with piercing green eyes, locked its gaze onto mine. My mind was suddenly overwhelmed by an invasive presence, a voice echoing in my thoughts. "You are new here," it said, the tone commanding and cold. "You will learn to serve just as the others have." I tried to resist, to push the voice out of my mind, but it was too strong. My thoughts began to blur, my willpower slipping away like water through my fingers. The cat's eyes narrowed, sensing my defiance. "You will not resist for long," it whispered before turning away, its tail flicking with dismissive confidence. Time blurred in this strange new world, where the cats ruled unchallenged. I found myself performing menial tasks, my thoughts clouded by the constant telepathic commands. But deep within me, a spark of resistance remained. I began to observe the patterns of our feline overlords, searching for any sign of weakness. I discovered that their telepathic grip was not absolute. If I concentrated hard enough, I could block out their commands, if only for a moment. In these brief moments of clarity, I plotted my escape. One night, under the cover of darkness, I made my move. The city was silent, the cats seemingly at rest. I crept through the shadowy streets, avoiding the watchful eyes of the sentinels. My heart raced as I neared the edge of the city, where the buildings gave way to a dense, overgrown forest. Freedom was within reach, but as I stepped into the forest, I felt a familiar presence in my mind. The silver-furred cat appeared before me, its green eyes glowing with cold calculation. "You cannot escape," it hissed in my thoughts. But I was ready. I focused all my willpower, pushing the voice out of my mind. The cat hesitated, its control slipping for just a moment. I took my chance and bolted into the forest, the trees swallowing me whole. I ran until my lungs burned, the dense forest closing in around me. The telepathic grip of the cats weakened as I ventured deeper, their voices fading to faint whispers. Exhausted, I collapsed beneath the canopy of leaves, the sounds of the forest soothing my frayed nerves. I knew I couldn't stay here forever. I had to find a way back to my own reality. But for now, I was free. I closed my eyes, wondering if I would ever wake up in my own bed again, or if I was destined to remain in this world ruled by sentient felines.